Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of What's on the Shelf. Today we're looking at this shelf right here that is PS4, Xbox One, and Switch games. Also my dog Zeke, because I forgot to close the door. Daemon Ex Machina, a new purchase. I like the game well enough. It's not perfect. I definitely have a ton of issues with the storytelling, the characters so far, but the gameplay's fun. I got this at a Best Buy. I actually got this physically because I buy most of my Switch games digitally. I buy most of my games digitally now. But I got this physically because my card information got stolen. And I had to go physically get the game because I couldn't use a credit card to get a digital version because Nintendo wouldn't let me switch the card easily. I've since fixed that, but still, that's why I got a physical version. After that is my Steelbook for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I absolutely adore this game. I had to have the Steelbook. I don't even have the disc in, or the cartridge in there, but I had to have the Steelbook because it looked so pretty. It's just so beautiful. It's just too pretty. I had to. I love it so much. This game's so good. Fire Emblem Warriors. This game's pretty good. I need to play more of it. Pat's been wanting to know more about it because he's interested in it. I wish it had more of the other Fire Emblem characters in it that aren't just Fate's characters, but, you know, still a fun game. Got this at a Best Buy. They fell down behind me while I was sitting back down in this chair. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I love this game. This is a great game. If you have not played it yet and you have a Switch, you should. Really, really good. Got this at a Best Buy. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This actually wound up being a really enjoyable game. I actually really liked it. Really weird SRPG, basically. Tactical combat RPG, I guess. Not really, or not even really an RPG per se. But XCOM style with Mario and Rabbids in a weird way. And it worked. It's really fun. The Mega Man Legacy Collection. It is a fine way to play Mega Man's 1 through 10. They did a pretty good job with it. I like it well enough. I still really only super love Mega Man 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. 6, 1, 4, 10 are okay. I don't hate them, but those are my favorites. 2 and 3 being the best ones out of all of them. Still, good collection, honestly. Good compilation. That's what I was trying to say. Splatoon 2, very, very fun game. Wish it was easier to play with your friends. Wish you didn't have to use the Nintendo app on your phone to connect with your friends, but maybe one day we'll get there, Nintendo. Still a fun game. Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido. I never went back and beat this game. This game, on the cover, looks like it's a perfect game for me. A dark, evil sushi empire trying to take over or has taken over the world, and you have to form a resistance. You play as a ninja, team up with Pokemon-style creatures. But the gameplay just doesn't work for me. I just don't enjoy playing it, which is a huge shame because I like the story quite a bit. But Sushi Striker. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth? Afterbirth. A game that I picked up when Switch launched because there was nothing really to play on the Switch and played for like 3 hours and never played again. Never really liked Isaac. It just wasn't really my kind of game. And this didn't change that. It's well made, though. I definitely recognize it's well made. And the last Switch game is the rest of the Fire Emblem Warriors package. It's the collector's edition that I got because I love Fire Emblem. It comes with a CD set, a poster, I can put that on the wall, and a character card set, but it's a good game. Next up is the Xbox One set, Sunset Overdrive. This is an enjoyable game. It was fun. The humor didn't really land with me, but the gameplay itself was a blast, and I quite enjoyed it. I don't ever play my Xbox One anymore, but I still have it. It's in the living room. And if I ever wanted to play this again, I could. It's a fun game. Dead Rising 3. I put like 4 hours into this and never touched it again. It's okay. It's definitely not as much fun as like Dead Rising 1 or 2, but it's okay. Halo the Master Chief Collection. A game that when it came out and I got it so I could play Halo 3 again, was incredibly buggy. To the point where you could load into a map in Halo 3 for campaign and get put into a Halo 2 map. Yeah. Supposedly they fixed all the bugs. I never really went back to it. But Master Chief Collection. Halo 5 Guardians. I really don't like this game. I think that what they did with the multiplayer is not great. I don't enjoy it. And what they've done with the single player is okay. I didn't really like going against Chief, and then this other guy was able to put up a fight against Chief, and all it would have taken was somebody else, because there were other people to go, hey, wait, no. But nobody did. So yeah, I didn't really like Halo 5. The Division, a game that I got at Best Buy because a friend of mine was picking it up and he wanted me to play with him. I played maybe 10 hours of it and never touched it again. It's okay. The shooting is fine. The bosses have a lot of health, and there was some really interesting things with the story. I really didn't like the idea that, oh, I gotta stop these people that are robbing this store because, hey, I'm the only bit of the law left. I gotta stop them. And then you stop them, and then you rob the store, and it's like, but wait, hold on. No, that doesn't make sense. But, it plays fine. I hear the second one's really good. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, a game that I got, even though I'm not super into Call of Duty, so I could play with my dad, because at the time, all he had was an Xbox One. He has a PS4 now, so his stack of games beside me for Xbox One is not much bigger than it already has been shown to be. But it was a fun game. I liked the local co-op, the PvP, the local matches. I liked that quite a bit. And then co-op campaign was cool. But, Call of Duty. Gears of War 4. I love the Gears franchise. This one was just kind of okay for me. I thought the story of Gears of War 4 was, fine, It wasn't as good as, Gears 2 or 3. But it did the job. But by buying this one, you got Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment, I believe, on Xbox One. So it's kind of already worth it to me to be able to get Gears 1, 2, and 3 again on Xbox One. I should play Gears 2 again. I didn't even remember that I owned this. I'm assuming my dad must have got it for me so I could play with him. He loves the Battlefield series. I think I've played it once with him, and that's it. I liked Battlefield Bad Company 2. I liked Bad Company 2 a lot. Diablo 3! I own this game on every platform, I think. I love Diablo 3. It's definitely still not as good as Diablo 2, but looking at it just as it is, I think it's a really fun game, especially for when you're trying to watch a movie, but you want to be playing a game as well, which is a very odd situation now that I say it out loud. But, for instance, it's a good podcast game where you want to listen to something but don't have to be watching something. I think it's great for that. And it's a lot of fun with friends. Diablo 3. Good game. And that's all the physical Xbox games as well. I realized I sat down way too hard and shook the entire camera. But now we're on PS4 games. Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor is a really fun game. I think the story is fine in Shadow of Mordor. I think Shadow of War goes too far with the story in some places. The gameplay is a lot of fun in Shadow of Mordor. The domination ability and claiming orcs as your own is really cool. I really liked this game. I thought it was a lot of fun. Maybe a little bit too long in places. It spent too much time doing specific things over and over again. But for the most part, it was a lot of fun. Fun story. This copy I got at a discounted price because of the tear that's in the front of it right there. What did I care about a tear? It fell over. The Last of Us Remastered. I really like The Last of Us. I think it's a really great game. I love the story in it. This one came with Left Behind and a resurgence of the multiplayer. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm very excited for Last of Us 2. Although, I still don't think it needed a sequel. The story was complete in this game, and it was a very good story. But I still like it quite a bit. This is a very good game. I need to replay it again. No Man's Sky, a game that I got at launch to cover for the channel. I was very disappointed with it at launch. It scratched the itch that I wanted it to scratch, which was a nature documentary style game. But it didn't really scratch any other itch. It has been fixed in a lot of ways, and I'm glad I still own it because I can play the better versions at any time. But, yeah, it was a big disappointment at launch, for sure. Mortal Kombat 10. I got this to play for the show, for the old channel. When we did Fight Nights all the time, I got this just for those. And then we still have Fight Nights every once in a while on this channel, but it's been a while. We need to bring those back. But this is a fun game. I like Mortal Kombat. It's not my favorite fighting game for sure, but it's fine. I think it's a good game. Arslan, the Warrior of Legend. Arslan Senki. This is a Musou game, and a very good one. I like it, actually. It helps that I really like the show, but the characters are good. They do a very good job of letting you play around with those characters. And there's a weird charge mechanic in it, too, where you can ride a horse and charge forward with a big army. It's fun. Not the best Musou game, but if you love Musou and you haven't played it yet, you should. It's good. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Uh, I was really disappointed when I booted this game up and found that it's basically just Xenoverse 1 all over again, but I enjoyed Xenoverse 1. I just wanted a bunch of new features. They have since added a bunch of new stuff since when I first played it when it first came out, but these games are really good if you just want to do a bunch of missions in the Dragon Ball world and collect a bunch of stuff. Be able to use your favorite abilities and make your own character. I really like my Frieza race character. They're fun. And speaking of, here's Xenoverse 1. Yeah, it was a really good game. Again, Xenoverse 2 is basically Xenoverse 1 with more stuff, so just get it instead. But I liked this game quite a bit. Infamous Second Son. This was either a launch title or like right at launch back in 2013. It's a fun game. I like it. I don't like it as much as I like original Infamous. The character just kind of grated on me at times, but I really liked the story. I thought it was good, and I liked the powers. They were a lot of fun. Like I said, I've gone mostly digital, so a lot of this stuff is really old at this point. Call of Duty World War II. I got this one because I was told there would be a bunch of history stuff in there, and then you get to see the Library of Agnes burn down around you, and it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I didn't really like it that much, but a lot of people did, so it's fine. Call of Duty. The Last Guardian. This one, there's dust flying everywhere. I really need to dust these games off more. This one's tough for me because I love Shadow of the Colossus so much. One of my favorite games ever made. Ico is enjoyable to me. It's not one of my favorites, but I'd really like it. I really wanted to love The Last Guardian, but I couldn't. Rico is completely unreliable, and I understand why. They wanted to make him more like an animal, but that doesn't make for a fun game. And having to just redo sections over and over and over again because he won't listen to you, having to wait for long periods because he won't listen to you, super frustrating. I really wanted to like this game. I really did. World of Final Fantasy. I really want to check out the Maxima update. I really do because I liked this game quite a bit, but never finished it. Just got too busy doing other stuff. It's a really weird Final Fantasy game where you can use characters from all over the universe of Final Fantasy as like chibi versions of themselves, and it's really cute. It really is. I want to play this again with the new Maxima update for sure. Dragon Quest Heroes. I have Dragon Quest Heroes 2 as well. Dragon Quest Hero: The World Trees Woe and the Blight Below. A Dragon Quest Muso game, and very fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Beat it. It was really good. I love seeing Terry show up in there. It's just a really good game. I like it quite a bit. I also have these 3 Final Fantasy games, 12, 15, and Type 0, but they're in the Final Fantasy section of the shelf, so they're not in with the rest of the PS4 games. Good games, though. I really like all 3 of them. Type 0 may be the least, honestly, but I really like 15 and 12. Transformers Devastation. This is the Platinum one. It looks really good. I don't like traversing the world in this game. I like the combat. I like the parts. I don't like traversing the world. And I don't like the boss fights at all. But I do still really enjoy this game. It just looks great. It's like being in that world, honestly, which is really cool. That's what you want these kind of games to be, you know? Fun game. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. There was a time that I bought every Assassin's Creed game that came out. And I think this was the last one that I bought up until Odyssey, which I bought on a sale this year. I liked Syndicate okay. By that point, I was getting really fatigued with the style. I liked Jacob Fry. He was fun. Evie was, she was okay. She was the stereotypical assassin. He was kind of the fun character that was different. But I liked it. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Very different from the rest of the series, especially gameplay-wise. Very different. But I still liked it quite a bit. The story let me down in a lot of ways compared to the previous games. But all told, it was still a really enjoyable story, and the gameplay is great, and it has some great music. I just wish that... I don't know, I wish that it had fit the story that... I guess it is one of those situations, it's very rare, but it's one of those situations where I guess I wanted it to tell a specific story and it didn't do it. But I do still like the story that it told. I'm a lot more excited about it than other people that I know that love Metal Gear and are just like, no, the story's garbage. And it's like, well, it's still a Metal Gear story. It's just not the Metal Gear story that we thought it was, you know? It also feels unfinished. Let's be honest. It feels unfinished. That last mission is terrible. And like what happens with Eli, you don't know. We'll never know. But I still really enjoyed the game. I thought it was a lot of fun. I still like playing it. Need to play it again. It's a good game. Tales of Zestiria. I hate Saray so much as a main character that it really does sour this game for me. Other than Saray, though, I love this game. I think the characters are really fun. I think the world is really cool. How it ties to Berseria is really cool. And I love the way they play around with camera angles in Zestiria. There's this thing that they do where, you know, most of the world can't see spirits. And so the camera will turn and you will then see the spirit that was there the whole time that the other characters couldn't see, you know? I love that so much. I just really hate Saray. It also doesn't help that I don't like Rose, I think is her name, that replaces Alicia halfway through. But I like the rest of the characters quite a bit. They're really good. Wolfenstein: The New Order. This game was a lot of fun. It was kind of a return to Wolfenstein in a world that, you know, didn't think Wolfenstein could really work again. And it didn't take itself too seriously, and it was just a really fun shooter. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Knights of Azure. I've never played it. I've been told I need to. I've been told it's really fun. But I've never played it. I got it on sale because I was told I need to play it for $7 on Amazon one day during a Black Friday sale. But I've never once booted it up. I should do that. Trials Fusion. Welcome to the future. Man, machine, the fusion. This is a really, really fun game. It's a lot of fun with friends. Really good party game. Trials Fusion. But even if you just like to play alone, this game's really good. It's kind of old now. There's newer versions of Trials out, but very, very good. Welcome to the future. Man, machine, the fusion. Shadow of War, the sequel to Shadow of Mordor. It's okay. I think it goes too far. First off, in the lore, they try to make their lore work, the changes they want to do, and in doing so, they mess up pre-existing lore. And then, secondly, in just how repetitive it is. You beat a full area, and you're excited because, like, you beat that area, and then the game goes, hey, I know that took you, like, 20 hours. Do it again 3 more times before you can progress the story. And it's like, ugh. So, never beat it because of that reason. But still a fun game to just play around with. I legitimately I didn't know I had this. It's open. I think I borrowed this from somebody, maybe? I'd probably give it back. I don't have any memories of playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I know the main character's named Bayek, but I have no memories of ever booting this game. I know it's not installed on my PS4, because I cleared off memory yesterday. Yeah. I think I borrowed this. Prey! It's a game that Andrew recommended to me. I haven't beaten it because I'm a little chicken, and it spooks me. But I like it. It's a really well-made game, and I wish that I didn't get so spooked and could play it more. Good game. Injustice 2. I really hate the way Injustice plays. I picked it up for Fight Nights, and I hate that their character ability is tied to what would be low kick button on almost every other fighter, and so I constantly accidentally use their power when I'm trying to low kick, or light kick, depending on your terminology. But, you know, it's a fine fighting game, as long as you don't have that hang-up that I have. I don't really like the faces of the characters either. The engine they use is weird on faces, but it's fine. It's very competitive. Watch Dogs 2. I never beat this either, but I enjoyed my time with it. It was quite enjoyable. I liked the gameplay. I didn't really like the story that much, but the gameplay was a lot of fun. Just never made time for it like I should have. Also, giant robot spiders, pretty cool. That's a cool. Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight, Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, with Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Very, very good rhythm games with interesting stories and some cool fan service in the way that, like, this character gets to interact with this character, or here's a reference to this. It gets really sad sometimes when you get characters singing songs that are like their theme song, and like, you know, that character has to go through some terrible stuff. But it also has a very pretty box art. It looks really cool. So, you know, it's a good game. Very good game. Super Robot Wars OG, The Moon Dwellers. Very, very fun game. I do think the battle sequences go on a little too long. Specifically, some of the animations are like super long. But it's a retelling of Jay in a lot of ways. with some new characters thrown in and all OG characters. There are no other series crossing over with it. But I like it. It's fun. I really enjoy it, actually. Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition. Still my favorite Muso game to this day. I absolutely love DW8, especially the Extreme version. It's really good. If you like Musos and you don't own this one, you need to fix that because it's great. And it doesn't have the terrible, I am Sao. It has, like, the chaos of this land must be controlled. Like good Sao is what I'm saying. Quest Heroes 2! This is a really good game. The sequel adds new characters, has new stuff. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out. Horizon Zero Dawn. I like it well enough. Like, it's not my favorite or anything, but I think the world is really cool. The story let me down in a lot of ways, but I think the world is really cool. So, definitely worth the play. I like it. One of my favorite games ever made, Nier Automata. Such a great game. Such a great game. What a brilliant sequel to Nier. When you first start playing it, it doesn't really feel like it fits right away, but as you get into some of the other story beats, and then the gameplay, of course, is even better than the older gameplay from like Nier 1 or even Drakengard, but this is a great game, and if you have not played it yet, you need to. So good. Nier Raid FF14 is coming up. Valkyria Chronicles 1 Remastered. I got this remastered day one. Had to buy the physical edition because then I'd get the sick steelbook. And I will be completely honest, I love the original Valkyria Chronicles so much. The music of that soundtrack is one of my favorites. And when the music started playing and the Valkyria Chronicles 1 graphics came up remastered, I got a little teary-eyed, I'll be honest. I think this is one of the best games ever made. And the story is really, really good. The gameplay is really, really solid. And the music is great. Plus, it looks beautiful. So you owe it to yourself, if you enjoy turn-based strategy RPGs at all, to try out Valkyria Chronicles 1 and the story of Welkin Gunther and Squad 7. It's great. It's great. It's a funny story, too, because the first time that I ever watched a Twitch stream was watching, and it wasn't even called Twitch back then, it was called Justin TV, was watching a guy play Valkyria Chronicles. And when I saw it and I heard it, I had to have it. It's a beautiful game. Play this game, please. If you don't listen to anything else I say in this video, please play this game. Final Fantasy 14 Heavensward for the PS4. I don't play the PS4 version that often, but Heavensward was a good expansion. FF14 is a good game. Box art's pretty good. You should play 14. It's a lot of fun. Super Robot Wars V. I think out of the 3 newer ones, T I have digitally, so I don't think you'll see it in the stack. I think out of the 3 recent ones, V is still my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of Cross Ange, but I think they did a really good job with the stories in V, and it has Yamato in it, and they do a really good job with Yamato. So this game, top tier Super Robot Wars, top tier. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. In a lot of ways, the newer Pokemon RPGs have been just more of the same, you know? But the Digimon games have not. This is a full-on story, full-on adventure as you go through this story with mysteries and twists and good side quests. And it's all wrapped around this great turn-based RPG where you get to use Digimon and evolve them basically however you want to if you spend enough time doing it. They are amazing games, this and Hacker's Memory. The complete collection is out now that has both. Absolutely owe it to yourself to play this great game. I will freely admit, the ending of this game made me cry. I love this. Warriors of Orochi 3 Ultimate. I think this was a launch title. It's fine. It's not as good as 4 Ultimate, honestly, but it's good still. I enjoyed it. Battlefield 4. Got this to play with my dad. Battlefield 4. This was my attempt to get back into Battlefield after Bad Company 2. It was fine. I liked it well enough. A lot of fun when my dad would come over and we'd play it on my PS4. Mostly he would play it because it doesn't really have local co-op, but it was still fun. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. This is a great game. I have really fallen out of love with the Assassin's Creed format, the open world setup that it has, but the ship combat's really good, and in a weird way, it's almost worth 100%ing this game because You get the skeleton crew, literally, and that's such a cool detail. I really liked this game, despite my drawbacks of the gameplay. It's a lot of fun. As someone who really enjoyed the older Star Oceans, I thought this one would be a knock it out of the park kind of game. It's not. This game is not great. It doesn't really hold up to the legacy of Star Ocean for me. It's just kind of there in a lot of ways, and the characters trust each other implicitly. Basically, as soon as they meet, the story moves way too quickly. The actual like combat takes too long. It's just a really weird fit for Star Ocean. But Star Ocean 5, Integrity and Faithless. Dying Light, really, really fun game. Andrew was talking about it on the podcast very recently. Interesting game. I'm not huge into zombie games, but I like this one quite a bit. Really fun platforming. I think the disc is loose in there. It is. Fix that. Persona 5. I really love this game. I still think that Persona 4 might be a better game, but I got this really sick steelbook. I like Persona 5 quite a bit. I think the characters are really fun. I like the story. I like Akechi. And yeah, it's worth playing. It's really good. I'm excited for Royal. I really am. Gintama Rumble. This is a Gintama Muso game, and it's really good, actually. They did a really good job with the Gintama characters and translating their movesets over. And I love Gintama, so. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. In a lot of ways, I actually think Scholar... The first time I played through it, it was a really fun experience because it was different from Dark Souls 2, right? Everything was mixed up, and I would love to see the Scholar treatment for some of the other games, but on second playthroughs, and now on my fifth playthrough, I actually think the Scholar version ruins Dark Souls 2 in a lot of ways. Dark Souls 2 already had a lot of problems, but Scholar only escalates that by having way more enemies and having way more traps and spam bushes. And it's just really unfortunate because I like Dark Souls 2 a lot, and this is the version you play if you want to play online with people. But I do think this is the worst version in some ways than the original version. At one point, you get invaded by like 7 NPC invaders at one time. Like, what are you doing, from Yakuza Kiwami? The remake of Yakuza 1 with an amazing steelbook. Yeah, Yakuza 1 was good. Some might say exceptional, and I would not disagree. And Yakuza Kiwami is even better, in my opinion, because it's just Yakuza 1, fresh coat of paint, looks really good. I like it a lot. Yakuza Kiwami. Super Robot Wars X, still really enjoyable. Not as good as V for me, but it did have Gurren Lagann and Code Geass. And so despite all of my problems that I have with the story of X, specifically with the main characters, it was really cool to get to use Gurren Lagann alongside Mike Guine. I still want to see Gurren Lagann alongside Gabriel Gar, who's in T. But, you know, one day. One day. Dragon Age Inquisition. I really like this game. The further away I've gotten from it, though, the more I recognize that I don't really want to go back and play it. It's very long. There's a lot of periods of time where you're just doing the same stuff over and over that are very repetitive. But I like the characters quite a bit. I think it was a lot of fun to play through the first time. And, you know, I'd play through it again, eventually. I think, given it, like, maybe 2 or 3 more years, I'll probably replay it. But I remember it being really long. I liked my character a lot, though. His beard didn't stick to his face. It was unfortunate. It hung out a little bit, but I enjoyed it. Gundam Breaker 3 Break Edition. One of the best games ever made. Right here. Amazing game. Love this game. So much customization. No idea how many hours I put into it. Very, very good. Earth's Dawn. We did a stream on this. Game wound up being pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Got it from a gas station for $5. And, yeah. Wound up being pretty bad. The steelbook for Super Robot Wars X that I got because I ordered the premium sound version. Very nice steelbook. Very good. Like it. Dragon Ball Fighters. This is a good fighting game. Still not my favorite fighting game. That's Guilty Gear and King of Fighters. Those are my 2 favorites. But very, very good. They did a good job with this one. The Handsome Collection of Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. I like the story in Borderlands 2. I think that Handsome Jack is one of the best villains gaming's ever had. But I really hate the jokes in Borderlands 2. I think they're real bad. Yeah, I love Handsome Jack as a villain. I hate that first opening 3 hours. the jokes fall flat for me every time. But still a very good game. Still a very well-made game. Plays very well. The PSVR demo disc that came with my PSVR. Some good demos on there. Demo convinced me to buy Moss. I liked that game. SD Gundam G Generation Genesis. It's fine. I've never been a huge fan of the G Generation games, but this one's okay. I liked it. Lots of suits featured in here. A lot of them. Not bad. And finally, Astrobot Rescue Mission. I adore this game. It's a PSVR exclusive, but I absolutely adore this game. It's really, really good. The story is a lot of fun to play through as you go through all the different areas trying to rescue all the Astrobots. The music is exceptional. The boss fights are really good. This is a great game, and a really solid one to end this on. All right, so that's the PS4, Switch, Xbox One shelf. Next time, we will cover the PS3 shelf and PS2 shelf, and then probably the time after that, we'll cover the Xbox, Wii U, Wii, GameCube shelf that I need one more spot on because Dragon Age 2 doesn't have a spot to go on the shelf. I'll probably wind up taking the collector's edition version of Killer is Dead off, moving it. But regardless, until next time, I've been Trey. This has been The Full Spectrum. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum of what's on the shelf.